All right. Can you guys hear anything? Testing, 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 testing. I can see my little... Can you guys hear anything? Microphone bar going. Nice. Testing, 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 testing. All right. Now, how do I get it to stop playing in my headphones? Yeah, I managed to turn that off. All right, let's get this thing started. Where are we? Yeah, I'm not sure what to do about that delay. All right. So I made myself a handy little checklist here, because I'm sure while I'm doing this, I'm going to be forgetting all sorts of stuff. All right. Let's start with the animator. And animations. Actually, let's take a look at the model first. Build a little excitement. Where am I? Spirit Witch. Here is what we have. I'm sure there's a better way to preview that. I am not going to worry about that right now. All right, animation controller. So what I normally do is I copy what I think would be the closest one. So let's see what we got here. Let's go with this guy. All right. So here we have the basic mechanism set up with all of our animation states. So we have a whole bunch of stuff in here. Let's check out what we got on the Spirit Witch. All right, so I'm just gonna plug these in, because right now all these are set to use the Sewer Shaman one, which is obviously not what we want. All right, idle cycle, idle non-cycle, and for the Ford we have a blend tree, so it's a little different, but same basic thing. Plug in our walk cycle and our 3 run cycles. Alright, now back to the base layer. And where was I? Hit pane. Let's do that one. Death. And ranged attack 1. Nope. That is also a blend tree. There we go. Alright. So I think that's all the same stuff that we had for that guy. Go back to my handy dandy checklist. Range attack 1, lob attack, and curse. So what I'm gonna do here is forget what I named those. Lob attack. Go. Curse. Alright. So I don't think I necessarily have to rename that. I like making everything pretty. Curse blend tree. Spirit Witch. I'm now confused. Was I doing the wrong one? Oh, I was doing the Sewer Shaman the whole time. That's great. Alright. Let's go back and redo those. So, step one, actually figure out what you're going to do. And don't do the wrong thing for 5 minutes. That's a pretty important step. And walk cycle. And I'm doing... Alright. I need to focus. I'm focusing now. No worries. Pretty sure talking about stuff while I'm doing it is, you know, reducing my brain power by at least 50%, but we'll see how that goes. Alright. Idle. Nice. Got that one. Alright. Still good there. Okay. Hit. Put that one back in just in case. And ranged attack. Alright, so I think the ranged attack. Let's check out this guy. That looks like our standard guy there. Though that is actually our Sewer Trickster model, which uses the same one, I think. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem though. Alright, so attack 1. Yeah, so that little preview I did earlier was not the Spirit Witch at all. That was our Trickster. So you can just go ahead and ignore that. And let's see. Attack 1. We're good there. Curse is probably going to be attack Omni. That looks pretty cursy. Let's see what this guy looks like. That looks like it could be in a loud attack. Alright. Attack Omni. Alright. So now we've gotten the stuff that was already there. I should probably check and see if people have comments and stuff. Okay. I should have 2 monitors up, shouldn't I? Let's see what I can do. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I could make it tiny. We'll make this work. If Windows would stop being stupid. Boom. All right. So yes, I will explain the state setup. So the animations always start out at the orange guy here. All right. You can pop it out. Yeah, that's gonna take me too long to figure out. I'm gonna leave it like that. Idle is alright, so yeah, it starts at the idle, and basically each one of these guys is a connection to another animation state. So what each of these is doing is blending the 2 animations whenever the second animation is called. So when the forward condition becomes true, which happens via the handy dandy code, that is going to transition it from whatever state it can into forward. So if it's on idle, it'll go to forward. If it's here, this also has the same condition, so it would go to forward from there, and so on and so forth. And to go back, forward is set to false. But usually it would go from, idle to forward, and then probably an attack or something through the same method. And then the attack goes back just through exit time. So the blending mechanism is done through the little thing you got right here. So this is how much time it takes to blend between the two. I've found that it's helpful to make that very small. Otherwise, I think the built-in event system is a little buggy. So if you make it too far into it, it doesn't trigger it sometimes. Plus, I think it looks pretty good. Alright, so that's the basic setup. The other things are, I think, pretty self-explanatory. The any state, it can go from any one of these 6, 7. How many do I have? 7. It can go from any of those states to death, which is pretty essential, or to hit. Otherwise, it can only go between the little arrows. And all of these are our various parameters that are activated in the code. I think those should all be pretty self-explanatory too. I can delete that guy. Maybe I don't want to delete that guy. Oh, these are still set up to use the buff because I renamed the wrong one. So let's do range attack 1. It's going to be range attack 1. Buff is going to be curse. Alright, so we can... Yeah, those are good. Alright, so we can get rid of that, and now we just have the lob attack. So I am going to make a new guy here. And actually what I wanted was a blend tree. Alright, so I'm going to basically take what we've done. Actually, that's going to be faster. I'm going to steal this guy. And put a new one there. So this one is going to be the lob attack. And double click to get into that. And we have lob attack blend tree. Alright. So all of this is it. Where am I? Yeah. All this shows how much to blend between the various attack speeds. So a parameter attack speed of 0 would give us 0.5 animation speed. And once you go up to 1.5, it is a lot faster. That we don't actually use on our enemies too much, because the attack speeds aren't usually dynamic, but it is Hallow's set up for our player character. So it's useful to do the same thing for all the enemies as well. Let's see. And I needed to put the animations on there. So this was Lob Attack. Just going to be Attack 2. Alright. So now all those are set up. Go back to our base layer. And let's see, what kind of connections does it need? Alright, so we have one from idle, one from forward, and one from idle non-cycle. Alright, and the only connection back is to idle. Alright, so lob attack, want to go to lob attack whenever lob attack is set to true. And we want it to not play another idle. Alright. Why is that not doing anything? That is not playing. That's interesting. Alright. I don't know why that wasn't working, but it is now. So that looks good. And we want this to be lob attack false. And this is going to be lob attack true. And this guy lob attack true. Alright. So most of these are probably going to be a little off. Those just have to be done through fine-tuning. Trial and error pretty much. That looks, for example, way too fast. Yeah, that's alright. Maybe a little more. Alright. I think all those should be fine. Alright. So that is the basic setup of this animator controller now. Let's go back and make sure I named him. So, Sewer Shaman, Animator Controller 1. This is going to be our Spirit Witch. Now that I think about it, I probably should have copied the Sewer Trickster. That would have been a lot closer. Live and learn. Where are we? Alright. Any questions about that one? Let's see what we got here. I will check that off. Animation event setup. That is not as fun. I am going to set up the prefab first. So let's do that. This tiny window is messing up my chi. Alright. Prefabs. Alright, so I am going to do pretty much the same thing. Let's go to our scene. And let's grab... I'm gonna grab him as well as the Spirit Witch. Alright. Let's check her out. Alright, so that's what she actually looks like. Without the, Goblin Dream Snatcher all up in her business. Alright, let's move them a little away so we can see stuff. So the basic point I make here is just make sure they're in the same exact position so that when I copy over components, it puts it on the same place. Otherwise, when you move stuff over, it doesn't locally align with the other character. Yeah, what he said. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is take all our various components. So we have an enemy health bar that shows the enemy's health above our enemies when they get damaged. An enemy radius that activates our enemies when the player gets close to them. And a nice little shadow below them. And the status effect bar, which shows the status effects, like poison and whatnot. And just gonna drag those over. That's fine. And I like to make sure everything looks about the same. Which it does. And we'll keep him around. What do we got here? Okay. Yeah, it should all be fine. Alright. So now that we have those moved over, I'm going to make sure the tag and the layer are properly set up. Both enemy. Do I want to do that? No, I do not. Probably. Yes, I did not want to do that. Okay. So, let's go ahead and I like to make a copy of our prefab here. Just because when I inevitably screw something up, I have something to go back to. Alright. And right, let's go into the spirit witch so we can go ahead and apply that. Alright, now the spirit witch should have all that fancy stuff. And let's see what we need to move. So here are all the scripts that we have. Pretty much all our enemies have very similar scripts. The only ones that are going to be different are the attack. The attack ones are going to be different. So let's see, I'm gonna need an enemy controller, enemy AI. Alright, so when I've already done the scripting for this. So all I need to do is plug it in. Spirit Witch. And sometimes a few other scripts come in automatically, because if you set up dependencies in your code, such as these, Unity will put them in automatically, which I actually don't like that much, but it saves me, 2 seconds here, so it's always a plus. Enemy AI is next. And because I am a control freak, I like to put them all in the same exact order. Alright, enemy AI. I don't think that's what I wanted, actually. I want the specific AI, Spirit Witch AI. There we go. Put that there. And now we need base enemy pathing and seeker. And base enemy pathing and seeker. Nice. Enemy stats. Already got that guy. And character controller's down. Alright, so now I need the attack spells. So let's see what we got there. We got projectile, lob, and glyph. Alright, so I'm going to find those somewhere. Entity. Projectile spell. Here we go. Lob spell. And glyph spell. Alright, so what else do we need? Highlight controller. And you might be thinking it would be easier to just copy this whole guy so I don't have to keep copying all these, but I found out that is causes more trouble than it's worth. Because when you try to add meshes and other stuff to an already existing prefab, sometimes Unity doesn't like it. I'm sure there's a way to do that so that it does like it, but this suits me fine. Let's see. Where is that simple smooth modifier? Oh, that is our pathfinding modifier. So I am going to grab that guy from our components, pathfinding, modifiers, simple smooth. And that's going to make our enemy movement look a lot better. Alright. Character controller, highlight controller. Alright. And all the rest of them were just scripts though, so. Base enemy pathing and seeker. Alright, I am going to rearrange these. And highlight controller. Are you asking really for my moving the stuff around? I mean, usually I have all this stuff open, so it really helps actually to have everything in the right place. Enemy stats. Seeker, enemy stats. Alright, so I think we're good. I am now going to delete this guy. We do not probably need him anymore. Alright, so here we go. That's what she actually looks like. get started here. Animator. Alright, so we want to put the animator controller on this guy. Spirit Witch. Alright, we do not want root motion, I think. Probably not. Let's see. Yeah, this guy doesn't have it. Good enough for me. Alright. Spirit Witch controller. So I am not going to worry about those effects for right now. Or the sounds. Enemy type. We do not have that set up yet. A lot of these are just going to be for fine-tuning. So we probably don't need to worry about those. Default values should mostly be fine. I marked down a key few things that we need though. Let's check those out. Min-max lead and movement after attack. Alright. So I am going to go back in here, make sure we have those. This attack forecast min. We can copy those from another one, but I think something like that is about what we want. And movement after attack, so that after it casts ranged attack, it will move. And I don't actually know why I indicated that, since we don't have a corresponding thing here. Take a quick look in the code here. Alright, movement after attack. Let's find out where that guy is. Let's go to our enemy AI. Movement after attack. Yeah, that is not exposed in Unity. I don't know why I would put that. After attack. Oh, actually. Oh, yeah, I just set it to true under the initialization. Okay. We don't actually need to worry about that. After attack value. Don't mind me. I am trying to figure out what I'm doing here. Alright, well, it's not going to move after attack right now. I will worry about that in a little bit. Alright, so all the rest of this stuff we can pretty much leave as default for now. Those be able to be default. This part is pretty important. We need these two priorities to be in the correct order. And the correct order is Seeker is number 2. Which you have to change to 3 because this one is already 2, and then it puts it at 2 automatically, and you know, it does its own thing. It's good now. Alright, So, um, I mean, it does its own thing because this is all A-star pathfinding. We got a little third-party pathfinding utility, which is extremely helpful. But it does have little quirks like that. And let's see if we need anything else on there. I think that should be good. Original, close on new. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I basically just copied a value over. Alright, enemy stats. I am going to leave all that as default for now. Projectile script. Alright, so what we want here is the Spirit Witch projectile, which I do not believe we have one yet. Yeah. So, what I'm going to do is steal a different one. Alright. Just as a temporary measure. And this projectile goes into spell object. So the spell always, that this is named after, always goes into spell object. And if the spell has an attached spell that goes off when the projectile hits something, we'll put that in an attached spell, which is what we do have because all our projectiles create explosions. So I need to find a fancy explosion. Actually, maybe we don't have an explosion. And now our enemies don't have explosions. So the explosion is player projectiles only. So I will leave that blank. Damage type is going to be magical. That's mostly just a flavor thing. Target hit effect. That is fine for now. Alright. So most of this, the rest of this stuff I'm going to leave as default. I'll put this base damage at something, just so we know it's working. Alright. This is a pretty basic projectile spell, so there's not much to do for that one. Lob spell. I need to get a lob. In case you're wondering, this is what the projectile object is. Controller, sphere collider, rigid body, and an unused component. But that's pretty straightforward. We don't need to worry about that. Alright. Projectile spell. Where was I? Alright. I will keep that in mind. I actually have a full-time job at the moment, but as well as working on Fallow here. So we only do this part-time. So we usually have our hands full most of the time. Alright. Let's go to the lob attack. for that one, I'm just gonna steal a lob attack from him. And this is Spirit Witch, lob projectile. Alright. I can move that guy in there. And projectile goes into spell object. And attach spell. Alright, so this one actually is going to have an explosion on it. I wasn't lying this time. And that's going to be a acid pool. So I am going to steal this again. So most of these are just temporary objects until our art director gets to making those. Alright, so I'm going to put this as the attached spell here. And base spell. I think I copied the wrong one. What is this guy? Oh, that is a glyph. Hold on. What am I doing? Type spell. Oh, yeah. Okay. So what I actually need to do is make another glyph spell to attach it to. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. So, since the lob attack has both a lob component and a glyph component, I will put another glyph in. Alright, so this first guy, I'm going to make him the curse. But the second guy is going to be our acid pool. So if we go back to our prefabs here, I'm going to drop our acid pool to there. And this has no attached spell. Acid is pretty magical, mostly. And we'll make that do a little bit of damage. Probably not too much. And we have way too many options here. So I think it does damage over time. But right now I'm just going to make it do damage. It's easier to see. And so, yeah, now I am going to drag this glyph spell into the attached spell. So now when that lob explodes, it's gonna create this glyph spell in the same spot. And damage tag for the actual lob is probably gonna do a little damage. And I think that should be good. Alright. Alright, what's next? Curse. And luckily, I believe we already have a curse. stat drain. There we go. That's what I wanted. Alright, so the stat drain effect. Let's grab that guy. And stats down. And we'll make it drain whatever. 30 points. So yeah, I'm just putting in imaginary numbers because we haven't theory crafted this guy. Actually, I think we did, but I will worry about that later. Alright. And I do not have to check any of these. Alright. But I want to make sure that we have a spell object in there. Otherwise it will do nothing. I am going to copy a glyph. And the glyphs are pretty simple too. Where was I? Spear Witch. Alright. Let's go back to the glyph. The first glyph. And drop that guy in there. Alright. So now when this spell goes off, it's going to create a glyph at the specified target area, and it will do nothing after that, and it's not going to do any damage. Base velocity, that's fine. So we originally went with Unity because, well, we both done some work in it earlier, and it's pretty easy to get into. I first started maybe about, actually we started a while ago when we tried to make our first MMORPG. That was a terrible idea. But yeah, I've been working in Unity for maybe about 4 years. And people on Reddit always, ragging on Unity, but I think it looks pretty good, and it works out pretty well for us. I think you just have to be smart about what you try within it. I mean, I'm sure a lot of things aren't going to work so well, but I mean, we've had plenty of things that just aren't going to work, and we just end up doing similar things, just through different methods. But I think a lot of people are set on using, the one method to display this one particle in this one specific way, or else they get pissed off that Unity's not doing it. But I digress. What am I doing next? Alright. So I made myself these handy notes here, which I probably could have used. And I did them from memory. Good job, me. Pat on the back. Alright. Prefab setup. Let's make sure we got everything. Glyph. Alright. Close all these. Take out way too much space. Alright. So let's do highlight controller. So this is to highlight the enemies when you mouse over them. And it also controls a bunch of hit effects and status effects and makes them glow and a bunch of fancy stuff, actually. But first I need to make the materials for that guy. Alright, so I'm gonna get our basic Spirit Witch here. that. And this will be our highlight material, which uses custom diffuse bump outline, maybe. Actually, so I don't have to mess with the colors. I'll just do the colors. What we got here? 255, 134. Right. And I think that's all we need there. Make that a little smaller. Alright. So now we go back to our Spirit Witch. And she gets the normal material in there. And the highlight. And that one. Go back to my chat here. What could go wrong? Alright. So the highlight 2 and the cloak, those are specialty things. We don't need to worry about those. But we do need to put the highlighter on the other meshes. And I believe the way I wrote the code has to be on all parent objects. Let me verify with this dude. I was wrong. Okay, so it's just these two. That makes it easier. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to drag two highlight controllers here. And here. And for this one, I'm going to drag highlight, regular into the regular. And that is done. Oh, and make sure the base one is the master controller. That is a little coding workaround. Character controller, which normally is better than that. It's supposed to start in the same space since I copied it. Oh wait, no, I didn't copy it. Unity makes this automatically. That's right. So that's fine. We'll make it, I think that should be good. Like that, whatever, make it fit. Alright. So this, I just kinda eyeball this guy. We'll probably have to do a lot of fine tweaking of the colliders, but we also can't make them too small or too big because our pathfinding will mess up since we only have doorways and such of a certain size. So, lots of self-imposed limitations to keep ourselves sane. Let's check it out from above. And yeah, that mostly looks fine. Probably move it a little bit over that way. But it'll probably change during the animations too, so I'm gonna leave it. And let's go to, and this guy doesn't need to be changed, and we already did that guy. I think. Yes. Alright, so let's save our work here. Apply. actually need to save the scene, and I'm not going to. Alright, let's check that off. I already checked it off. Good. Alright, animation events. That's my favorite part. Actually, I forgot to do some stuff. But I need to do the other stuff first. So let's do the enemy spawner first. That guy is going to be in... If I was an enemy spawner, I would be at the bottom of level manager, clearly. Alright, so I am in the temple. Oh, yeah, we're testing all these out. So we want to get rid of... I'll actually just leave all those there. That's fine. Make just one of them. I need to get rid of one. I need to put it in one place at least. Alright, so I'm going to put the Spirit Witch in the scene, or in the enemy pool, so that she can be spawned. And I believe I already made her. I did not. Alright, I'm gonna do that real quick. You guys are gonna see some exciting code. Alright. Enemy, where was I? Enemy spawner. Alright. So here's our debug code down here. This is our main game manager, and I need to add our enemy to the enemy types. This is spirits. Mostly not going to talk while I code, because that seems like a recipe for disaster. Spirit Witch. Okay, so I need to make sure that is named the same thing in Unity. And it's going to recompile. I will let it do that. So there's no space, which is very important. And this doesn't actually do anything, it just puts it so I can access it in GUI. The important part was adding it to the game manager and the enemy type enums. Alright. It is probably still compiling. No, it's done. And it's doing it again. Okay. I'll wait for that to complete. Alright. Any questions so far? Thanks for joining in. Alright. Where was I going? Spirit Witch. Magically. Alright. Yeah. That's not going to actually do anything because it's just going to spawn at random, which is not what I want. And so I am going to go to our debug menu. Alright. And put this guy here. Alright. Make sure I'm centered. And alright. So I can probably delete these guys since we're in the temple. Let me make sure I'm not editing the forest GUI manager. That would be bad. And I am. So let's make a new guy here. Alright. Now I am temple. Good. Alright. So spawn Timberwolf. We do not want to spawn a Timberwolf. We want to spawn a Spirit Witch. I think that's good. I don't think I should have changed anything there. And then I just make sure it actually does spawn the Spirit Witch on this guy. Alright. So that should theoretically work. Along with what most of the stuff I do. Alright, let's save that to the GUI manager. Alright. And Spirit Witch, I'm going to go in here. And there's one more thing. Oh. Somehow it already made it the Spirit Witch. That is very unlikely. I'm not sure how that happened. But it did, and I'm not going to question it. Let's finish that then. Alright, so we are almost done. Debug menu, enemy spawner, animation events. Let's check that bad boy out. Did I save that? Did now. And where am I going? Okay, so back to the Spirit Witch model. Oh, this is actually going to be a lot easier because these are already in place. I think. No, they aren't. Wait. Nice, they are. So yeah, our Trickster and our Witch use the same model. So all the animations are already set up. Normally, I would go through and figure out at what point in the animation we want to trigger, say, the creation of the projectile. But yeah, looks like we've already done that. So I just need to make sure that these match up with what I have in my code. And I made myself a little checklist. Animation event ranged attack. Normally I would just rename that in here, but I do not want to mess up the Trickster, so I will rename it in my code. Animation attack somewhere right there. And what's this guy called? Animation attack 2. That's a lot more boring than what I had. Wait. is not what I wanted to overwrite. Step 1, do not overwrite code that you need. Alright. Tech Omni is probably going to be called animation then. Tech Omni. Omnicast. Close enough. And it goes there. Alright. So normally those would be set up and I would do that in Unity, but I did it opposite because this one was already set up. So I just need to let that compile. Yeah, that Double Fine stuff. That game actually looked pretty awesome. Like, what was that old game called? Space Colony. Space Colony was awesome. Alright, it compiled. So, what do I need to do? I think we might be done. Let's try and run it and let Unity tell me in all the ways in which I am not done. And also see if my computer crashes when I try to run this and stream at the same time. So, here is our temple level. Alright, let's spawn that spirit witch. Fingers crossed. She is ridiculously fast. And tries to cast an attack, and did not. Alright. Let's see what I did wrong. Drop treasure. What? What? Drop treasure 82. Who wants to debug with me? Lots of people. Oh, this is unrelated code. Some other thing I was trying out. I think. Yes. So we'll try that again. And probably make her a lot slower, because she is super fast. Oh, the game audio was loud? I will turn down that in the game. I don't want to jinx my microphone working. So, alright. Spirit, that is not what I wanted. So I am going to make her a lot slower, which is under controller. Base move speed. See how that works. There we go. Alright. Spear wedge, go. Just hanging out. Just doing stuff. Almost doing stuff. Animation attack 2SFX has no receiver. Oh. Well, that's not cool. Ha. Alright. Anyways. No. Yeah, it's probably because I'm doing the whole window, I'd imagine. I already got some warnings on here that I was using up, way too much computer doing my streaming. Probably need a new computer. That is for another time. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was fixing these. So every animation event has to have something in the code. And this one has sound effects already in, which we do not have. So this one is a special case, which will never happen again. Maybe. Unless we reuse models. I think that's the last one we reused. Maybe. Alright. So I'm just going to put in dummy ones here. SFX. And what do I call the rest of them? Tac 2. Tac 2. Omni is completely different because why not? Alright, I think let's check if death has one. Okay, I think that's somewhere else. Let's do a quick search. Yeah, that is on our base object, so we don't need to worry about that. Alright. And I need to save this guy. And that is also going to be on the base. Play on cycle. Nope. Alright. I think the animation event should be good. Oh, show a still of the game. I can do that. I don't know if it's actually my computer or if it's just both. I don't know. But yes, I will do that. Alright. Let's see if this works. I am using the open broadcaster software. Oh, still at the witch. Yeah. Alright. Try her one more time. What you doing? Her attack speed is way too low. She's casting stuff. She's doing stuff. Look at that projectile. obviously a lot of values need to be fine tweaked. So right now she's set to flee whenever you get within a certain distance for a certain amount of time. That is new code, which is probably not working so well. Looks like she is fleeing right now. Alright. I'm gonna do... make you smaller. There, whatever. Alright. So yeah. That is what she looks like running away with a debug line coming out of her. Yeah, that is the basics of how we set up a character. Obviously we need to do a lot of fine-tuning still. Work on a lot of the values. I think I need to tweak the flee code some. That clearly isn't working so well. Where is the flee? But in any case, no. So you can see the when I'm just in the scene. Okay. Yeah, I mean it must be the when I hit the play. But all right. Well, that's all I got. Anybody have any questions? Yeah, I have like a 10-second delay. It's ridiculous. I guess I'll worry about that later. I can tab to the game view, but it's not going to be full screen, I don't think. Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably need to set up my streaming to do the individual windows instead. I think I did it this way just so I could. I guess I don't really have a good reason. Just in case people want to see like Pivotal Tracker. Look at that. This is where we do all our, project management and shit. It's great. I'm gonna mark that as complete. Finish. I want to. Though actually I would probably do a lot more editing before I hit that as complete. But people. I was expecting like 3. But alright. Well, I think I am going to stop the streaming. Yeah, I guess if anyone wants to see more, I could do this semi-regularly. I don't know. How much do people live stream dev? I guess I could do it like weekly. I don't know. This was kind of fun, so I'll play it by ear. But I guess that is it. Shortest stream ever. Yeah. How long was it? Yeah, an hour and 20 minutes. Well, that's pretty long, isn't it? 6 hours. Alright. I'll do some stuff. You don't even know. Fucking. I don't know what else I'm gonna do. I don't have anything planned. What else have I got here? Yeah, who wants to see me code some doodads? That seems reasonable. It's a good amount of time. What's the Star Trader one? Is that the other guy on Reddit? Or is that guy? Oh no, Soul Trader. Wait. Yeah, that's the one you're talking about. Yeah. Well. I did enjoy it. It's actually pretty fun. I don't know. You ever see many like people like coding when they're doing live streaming? I don't know if I could even do that. That would be pretty hard. I think at least. Maybe if I started doing it, my mind would go into super, Super Saiyan mode or something. I'd code everything in 2 hours. Double Sublime windows. I could double my Sublime windows. Maybe. Somehow. Alright, I mean, I don't even want to double them, because single's better. Or you mean like 2 columns? Because I can do that. Boom. What up? 3 columns. Yeah. Take that, Star Trader. That's about it, though. I could live stream something else. Who wants to see me live stream browsing Reddit? That's fun for everybody. Okay. Yeah. Maybe we'll try the live streaming code. Maybe I'll do that next week. understand. If you want me to open links like 20 seconds after you request it, then, you know, I should really look into this delay. I took all the settings from the like Twitch TV recommended thing. See, delay, 0 seconds. Let's see what the problem is. I already read all the comments. They said, go check out Fallow game, because it's an awesome game. Yeah. Check out this game. This is our sewer level. Here's our forest. Should really get a video sometime. Twitch. Oh, Twitch has a delay of 10 and 30 seconds. All right. That seems like a silly change. Looks like it's chicken stuck up her butt. It's that's unique feedback there. I think that's the first time we've heard that. No. It's just because she has hooves. I should have tweeted when I started. Well, it is what it is. Oh man, you updated Reddit for me. That is much appreciated. All right. Major backend update. Delay would come down. Optimized it. Interesting. All right. Signing off for real this time. I will see you guys around. Thank you for watching.